Hey YouTube, Canadian Prepper here. Just wanted to talk a bit today about adversity and how important it is to condition ourselves to dealing with adverse circumstances in order to become more resilient, in order to become stronger, to be able to experience a bit of hardship in order to prepare ourselves for hard times. We live in such a pampered society, especially in the town that I'm in, which is just a suburb of the city. I pretty much work in the city, but I worked in a very derelict neighborhood that has a lot of poverty, and I've seen my share of poverty as well in growing up, and I know what it means to go without, and I know what it means to have to work hard for very little, and I think that's something that's missing in today's world, especially in the last 10 years with this advent of cheap stuff from China and the sanitized nanny state type society where kids can't even confront bullies anymore without a whole group of people getting involved, without the authorities getting involved, and everybody's so afraid, everybody's so scared of every little thing, there's always safety, and now in Canada you can't even put a kid all kids have to have booster seats now until they're something like 5 feet tall or something ridiculous like that. We're so pampered and secure that once this is pulled from under our feet, most people won't have had a day of hardship in their lives, and I really don't know how they're going to adapt to a situation like that. I mean, a part of me thinks that, it still is genetically ingrained in us to endure hardship, because that's what we've done for thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, perhaps millions of years as a species. We've endured hardship and scarcity. But most people nowadays aren't conditioned to that. And I don't think a lot of people are ready for that. And I think that's where the whole saying, the first shall be last and the last shall be first. It's because the people who are last right now are suffering. The people who are last right now are struggling to get by. They know what it means to have to struggle, to be poor, to go without. I'm just going to move this so you can hear me better. They know what it means to have to maybe not get what they want, and not just be entitled and feel that everything is owed to them, and that the good life is something that we're all entitled to, because we're not. It's something that owes itself to the modern world in which we live, and without that, all those things go by the wayside. So, I've been thinking about this adversity thing, and I've challenged myself, Lots of people talk about Detroit, for example, about how bad it is, and how it's kind of simulates a WROL. Well, why not go and test yourself in that environment? I'll frequently do my evening runs in the worst part of town in Saskatoon, because if you can't deal with situations like that in a grid up situation, what makes you think you're going to be able to deal with it when there is no rule of law? Like, if you think the bad neighborhoods are bad now, just wait until there's no chance for help coming to you. So I guess what I'm trying to say is we really need to condition ourselves to hardship a bit more. Like, I tell people, I'm going to be going camping this weekend, and they'll be like, and I'll tell them, yeah, I'm going to be sleeping in a tent, and they're almost shocked that people sleep in tents nowadays. They call it rustic camping now. Now, I guess, at some point, camping became something you only do if you have a trailer or an RV. Now, if you're using a tent, it's called rustic camping, which for me is just camping. But we live in such a sanitized society that even things like that are becoming, for people, they're becoming so hard. The Patriot nurse said something about something she heard in a foreign country, I can't remember which country it was, about Westerners, and that we're afraid of our own shit. We never have to see where it goes. We never have to, milk the cow. We never have to slaughter the chicken. And we've become pretty damn soft. It's so we really need to try to, in order to make the transition easier, challenge ourselves to deal with adverse circumstances. And that's why I think I do a lot of exercise, because it allows me to push myself to points of complete exhaustion and depletion, because I know that's where I'm going to be. If push comes to shove, there's going to be many moments and days of intense, grueling pain and misery. And in order to have the resilience, you have to be conditioned for it and ready for it. So I'm not telling people what to do, and whatever you do is what you're going to do, and you can deal with the consequences. But take the time to, if you have children, let them make mistakes. Let them struggle a bit. Let them have a few accidents, and teach them how to work for $1. So they know that nothing comes easy, nothing comes free. And that if we want to survive this coming shift, we're going to have to get used to going without. And it's going to take some self-discipline, and the standard, if you even want to call it a lower standard of living, depending on, what your subsistence style is, it could actually be a more comfortable, less stressful pace to life. But for most people, it's going to be a lower standard of living. because that's going to be a huge shock to people. And lots of people who spend an hour in the washroom every morning getting ready for work and take 2 showers a day, and spend $30-40 a day on food, and commute a couple hours a day with their vehicles. It's going to be very hard to adapt to that. So to make the segue a bit smoother, challenge yourself, push yourself in the here and now, because if you can't push yourself and deprive yourself in a controlled fashion in the here and now, chances are the stress of that is going to be too overwhelming, and you might just throw in the towel sooner than you would have had you taken some time to see what hardship is all about. And I know a lot of you know hardship. I'm not saying that, I'm sure actually a lot of my viewers, I'm probably preaching to the choir here, because I don't think I find it hard to believe that any person who has the mindset to prep in the first place hasn't endured any hardship. But I think also, we can forget. And as I have found a good career and, things have gotten a bit easier, I forgot how it was to go hungry when I was younger. I forgot how it was to have to, do miserable jobs for shit pay, and I forgot what it is to value all those things. So we got to keep reminding ourselves and just stay strong, stay hard, and stay strong, because we're so soft in this society. We're so incredibly malleable and fragile. One slight little breeze, it seems, can just blow us right over, So harden up, folks, and play in the dirt. Play with your kids in the dirt. Let them get dirty. It's way better than sitting there on their iPads and video games all day, staring at a screen. Anyways, that's all I got for today. Just a quick little rant about, adversity and staying strong. So, like, comment, subscribe. By all means, share. Canadian Prepper out.